Hello everybody and welcome to another guitar lesson with me, Mr. Parr. This is beginner's lesson number 4, so make sure you watched beginner's lesson number 3 last week and we're ready to get going. Okay, so this week we're going to be learning another new chord. It's an extra tricky challenge, but it's really fun. I'm looking forward to it. So if you remember last week, we put together all the 3 chords we learned so far. So that was a G, a C, and an E minor. We put together all those 3 chords and started learning the song Shotgun by George Ezra. So what I'd like us to do, first of all, is make sure we remember all of those chords. So first of all, let's play a G chord. So do you remember where your finger has to go for a G? Can you find the right space on the right string? That's right, it's on the 3rd fret, string closest to the floor. What about a C? Can everyone find the right space for a C? So a similar shape, a crab pinch in your right hand. And we want to be on the 1st space, but the 2nd string up from the floor. Not the one close, 2nd up. That's our C. And then who can remember an E minor, aka easy minor? That's right, no fingers. Just strum the 3 open strings without being squeezed down in this hand. Okay, and what we practiced first of all for the first time last week was putting those 3 chords together to play Shotgun. Now, if you remember, we played each chord 1 time and we held each chord for 4 counts. So we went G, 2, 3, 4, and then C, 2, 3, 4, E minor, 2, 3, 4, and then waited for 4, 2, 3, 4 for the G again. Now, what I'd like to do is I think we should practice that in a loop so we get really good at changing between a G, a C, and an E minor, and that'll mean we're ready to learn our next chord in a few minutes. So if everybody gets their G chord ready, and as well as having that G chord ready, also have your other finger ready so you can swap to a C. So if you play a G with your ring finger, your 3rd finger, then your pointing finger is near where it needs to be for C, and you can get ready to do a quick change. And that can help make the music sound a bit smoother and help not have any gap in between the chords. So if you have your finger ready for G, ready to swap to a C, and then ready to come off for the E minor. We're going to try that a few times in a row. So I'm going to count to 4 and we're all going to start together. So everybody with their G's ready? After 4, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. G, 2, 3, 4. And change to C, 2, 3, 4. Then E minor. 1, 2, 3, 4. And D. 2, 3. And G again. 1, 2, 3, 4. And C. 2, 3, 4. E minor. 2, 3, 4, and rest. 2, 3, one last time. G, 2, 3, 4, and C. 2, 3, 4. E minor. 2, 3, 4, and rest. And 1 G to finish. Here we go. There we go. Nice one, guys. So hopefully that pattern should start to be getting under the fingers. It is tricky to change between chords, but the more you practice it, the easier it'll start to feel. And if you keep practicing it every day, then before long you'll be an expert at changing chords. So guys, as promised, let's get to our new chord. So our new chord is called D, okay? And it has not 1, not 2, but 3 fingers all squeezing down at the same time. Each finger is on a different string and it's all got to squeeze down. So let's try finding our spaces for the fingers and let's do 1 finger at a time, okay? I'm going to start with your index finger, ready to point, ready to squeeze down, and you're going to find fret number 2, 1, 2, and then you're going to find the 3rd string up, so 1, 2, 3. So just again, in case you didn't find that, it's the 2nd fret, 1, 2, and the 3rd string, 1, 2, 3, 3rd string up from the floor. So you're gonna super glue your finger there so it can't move, because we've got to keep that in place while we find our next finger. So finger glued, you're gonna get your middle finger, and that's gonna go in the second fret as well. So right underneath this finger, but on the string closest to the floor. Now that means you're gonna have a little gap in between these two fingers with the second string in the middle. That's okay. You've got your first finger on the third string and your middle finger on the string closest to the floor, one on top of the other in the second space. Okay, so we found our first two fingers. Keep them both glued there. Don't move the muscle, or don't move those muscles. You do have to move your third finger though. We're going to find the right space, and it's in the third space and the second string up from the floor. So it fills the gap that was in between those other two fingers. And you kind of make this triangle shape between the three fingers. Okay, that's an easy way to remember a D, is it's the chord with the triangle shape between your fingers. Okay, now give that a try, strum that chord. It's the same three strings closest to the floor. Now, what is common with a D, because you've got three fingers, you actually need to squeeze down 3 times as much because you're squeezing with each separate fingertip. If you try a D and it sounds like this, that means you need to squeeze extra tight right with the fingertip on each of those 3 fingertips, right into the string. So you need to make sure the squeeze is going right through the fingertip into the string and squeezing it down against the guitar. And after a bit of practice, you'll start to sound clearer. And if you keep practicing it, your fingers will get stronger and stronger. And soon, before long, you'll be able to play a nice clear D. Okay, great everyone. So we've learned the finger positions for a D, but it is quite a difficult chord. And to get good at playing a difficult chord like that, like a D, in the middle of a song, we need to get good at finding the right place for our fingers. So a really excellent challenge you could do to find your fingers nice and quickly for a D, or to get better at finding your fingers quickly for a D, is to play that chord. So first finger on the third string up, second space, second finger underneath, and the third finger on the third fret. Find that chord, play it, and then take your fingers off, shake them out, and find it again. So first finger on the second string, so first finger on the second fret on the third string up, second finger, second fret as well on the string close to the floor, third finger on the second string, third fret. Play it, and then you're gonna shake it out, have a little rest, and find it again. You're gonna find the chord and then shake your hand out over and over again. My challenge is to do it 10 times in a row. Okay, and that way you get better and better at the really difficult thing for D, which is remembering the right place for each of your fingers and finding them all together. So that's your practice challenge right now. You're going to do 10 times of playing a D chord and then taking your hand off, giving it a shake out to reset and finding it again. 10 times in a row, pause the video, practice that, and then come back for the rest of the lesson. Off you go, guys. Okay, fantastic. So we've just had a practice of 10 times in a row, finding that D chord and resetting our hand. So by now we'll be getting really good at finding that D shape, and it will be getting slightly easier every time we do it. Hopefully now it doesn't feel as difficult as it did the first time you tried. Now we're ready to put the D chord into Shotgun and have the full chord pattern for that song. So to recap what we learned last week, it was G, C, E minor, and we've practiced those chords today already. I'm sure it sounded fantastic. And now we're going to add on the D chord, which comes straight after the E minor, before we go back to the G. So just to recap that again, you've got G, 2, 3, 4, C, 2, 3, 4, E minor, and then get your fingers ready for D, and D, 2, 3, 4, G, 3, 4, C, 2, 3, 4, E minor, 2, 3, 4, and D, 2, Let's try that all together. So get your fingers ready on a G, and we're going to practice a few times around that pattern with the G, the C, the E minor, and the D, the difficult D. So first things first, fingers ready on the G, and after 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, it's G, 2, 3, 4, and C, 2, 3, 4, E minor, 2, get your fingers ready, and D, 2, 3, and back to G, G, 2, 3, 4, and C, 2, 3, 4, E minor, 2, 3, 4, and D, 2, 3, and 4, and G, 2, 3, 4, C, 2, 3, 4, E minor, 2, 3, 4, and D, 2, 3, one last time, it's G, 2, 3, 4, and C, 2, 3, 4, E minor, 2, 3, 4, and D, 2, 3, and 4, and a G to finish. Great job, guys, well done. I'm sure that's starting to come together and you're starting to feel the whole pattern of the song there, which is really nice. Now, as a final practice challenge today, what I'd like you to do is open up the backing track in another tab. Remember, there's links in the description below. And see if you can have a go playing through the whole of Shotgun. You might want to try at the start, just doing the G, C, and E minor like we did last week. And then if you start to feel comfortable with those 3 chords, start to add in those Ds. Okay, guys, great work. I'm really looking forward to hearing how you get on. You could even leave me a comment in the comments below to let me know how you're getting on with this song. If you think it's really difficult, if you think it's too easy, if you think it's just right, you can write that in the comments below and I'll be reading them. Okay, great work, guys. Have a practice with the backing track, but that's all from me for this week. Enjoy yourselves and I'll see you next week. Goodbye.